Hello everyone, in the previous video we have discussed about the graph representation techniques. Today we will demonstrate the DFS traversal process. So let's start. So the DFS algorithm starts at any specified root node and traverses along any path as far as possible. For our example, we assume that node A is the start node. Any of the vertices can be a start node or the root node. In our example, we are considering node A as the start node. Let us assume that the address of node A is 10, the address of node B is 20, the address of node C is 30, the address of D is 40. Similarly, the address of node E is 50, the address of node H is 60, the address of node F is 70, and the address of node G is 80. So firstly we start at node A. So we process the content of node A, and for this example we will consider that processing means printing. Although we can perform many other processing like matching this value with some other key and so on. So we process the first node, that is we print the value A. So we print the value A. From this position we can discover two nodes at address 20 and address 50. We know everything about this node A. We know the content of node A and we have printed it. And also we know the adjacent nodes of node A. So we have explored everything about node A. And we call this type of node as the visited node or the explored node. And we assign the black color to this node. So visited nodes are colored black. And now we have multiple branches, the left branch and the right branch. We can arbitrarily choose from these branches. So we can move either to node B or node E. So at this stage, this node is a discovered node and this node is also a discovered node. We know that there are two nodes at address 20 and 50, but we don't know anything in details about these nodes. For example, for this node, we don't know that the content of this node is E, and also we don't know about its adjacent nodes. We don't even know that address 60 represents an adjacent node of node E. We just know that there is a vertex at address 50 and it is an adjacent node of node A. So similarly, we have another discovered node that is located at address 20. And as we said, we will choose arbitrarily. So let us move to node B. So we moved towards node B. When we came to node B, we discovered two more nodes, node C and node D. And since we came to node B, we know that the content of the node at address 20 is B. So we can print the content of this node. And as B is visited, we can color it with black color. Actually, we can find three adjacent nodes of node B. But as we see that node A is already visited, so we are interested about node C and node D only. So now we have printed the content of this node. We can mark it as visited. So we will assign the black color here. So let us move to node C. So now we repeat the same task. We print the content of this node. So the content is C and we print it. And also we discover the adjacent nodes. So previously we came to C from node B. So now we see that there are two adjacent nodes of node C. And one of the adjacent node is already visited, so we are not interested about node B. We are only interested about node G. So node G is a newly discovered node. We assign the D mark here. So now we have printed the content of this node at address 30, that is C, and also discovered its adjacent nodes. So we can assign the black color here and mark this node as V. That is, this node is visited. So this process will be continued as long as there are new nodes in this path. So from node C we come to node G. Once we arrive at node G, we repeat the same task. We print the content of this node, so we print G and we discover the adjacent vertices. So we see that there is a node at address 70 that is adjacent to node G. Now we have printed the contents and discovered the adjacent nodes. We can mark this node as visited and color it black. Next we move to another node along this path, that is node F. Actually the node at address 70, and we find that the content of this node is F, so we print F. And also we find the adjacent nodes of this node, and we see that the adjacent node is D. So the node at address 40 is adjacent to node 70 also. And we can see that there is a D mark already assigned at node D. So that means this node is already discovered from node B. However, this node is not visited. So we can assign the visited mark to node F and move to node D. So we move to node D from F, and we came to node F from G. So when we come to node at 40, so when we come to the node at address 40, we see that the content is D. So we print D, and also we try to find the adjacent nodes. We see that D has two adjacent nodes, node B and node F, and both of the nodes are visited. We have printed the content of node D, and we have also found the adjacent nodes of node D. So now we can assign the visited mark to node D, and also we can color this node with black color. So the DFS algorithm started at node A, and then it moved to node B, then to node C, and so on, and it explored the nodes as far as possible along this path. So after visiting node D, we see that there are no new nodes along this path. So we get back to node F, and we also see that there are no new nodes along this path. Adjacent nodes of node F are visited, so we get back to node G. We see that all the adjacent nodes of node G are visited, so we get back to node C, and the same process is repeated until we find any new node. So we get back to node A. Then we see that there is a new node that is discovered from A. When we get back to node A, we see that there is a node at address 50 that was discovered from node A. This node is discovered, but it is not visited yet. So we move to node E. So E is printed. So now we can assign black color to this node and mark it as visited. Now we move to node H. We print the content of this node. So H is printed. There are no adjacent nodes. So we can assign the visited mark and color this node with black color. Since there are no new nodes along this path, we get back to the parent node and we see that there are no new paths, and since there are no new nodes to be processed, we stop the process here. So in this graph, the red lines denote the process of backtracking. So when we arrive at a vertex, we perform two operations repeatedly. Firstly, after printing the content, we mark the vertex as visited. Secondly, we discover the adjacent nodes. So for these tasks, we need two data structures. To keep track of the visited vertices, we need an array-like data structure. We will call it the visited list. If the content of any cell is 0, that means that vertex is not visited. For this graph, at this stage, A is visited and B, C, D, E, F, G, H, these nodes are not visited. We also need to keep track of the discovered nodes. Remember that after visiting node A, we know that there are two other nodes, node B and node E. In the previous example, after visiting node A, we moved towards node B, and after traversing the left branch, we came back to node E. So it's clear that we can start processing node B. We need to store the information of node E so that we can get back to this node, and we need a stack. This is because we can push the node E to the stack and move towards the left branch. Also, we push the other nodes like B, C, G as they are discovered, and we delete these nodes as they are visited sequentially. So once we complete visiting the left branch, we can get back to the node E. So the concept of backtracking can be easily implemented using a stack. So initially all the nodes are unvisited and we push the start node in the stack. Then we repeat the following tasks. We take a node from the stack, mark the node as visited and print the content. And after that we look for the adjacent nodes. So we take A from stack and print it and also mark it as visited. We look for the adjacent nodes of A and we push the nodes in the stack. The adjacent nodes of A are B and E. Next we take node B from stack. We print the node B and mark it as visited. After that we look for the adjacent nodes of B. Look here that node A is already visited, node B is already visited. So node B has 3 adjacent nodes, node A, node C and node D. So among these nodes, A is already visited, so we are not interested about it. So we push node C and node D in the stack in the next iteration. So the unvisited adjacent nodes are pushed in the stack. Next we pop C from stack and print it and also mark it as visited. So we pop C, mark it as visited, and we look for the adjacent nodes of C. So node G is adjacent to C, and we have discarded the visited node B, which is adjacent to C. Next we take node G from stack and mark it as visited, and unvisited adjacent node F of G is pushed in the stack. Next we take F from stack and print it as well as mark it as visited. Now look carefully that we have 5 visited nodes, node A, node B, node C, node F, node G. And these nodes are discovered nodes. We know that there are nodes at position D and E, but we haven't printed the content of these nodes. And also we haven't discovered the adjacent nodes yet. So these 2 nodes are unvisited. So node D is discovered and node E is discovered. Although we discovered node D from node B, node D is still unvisited. So we can consider the path from F to D and we push node D in the stack. Actually we can push any unvisited node in the stack. Next we will take node D from the stack and print it. So we print node D and mark it as visited. Look carefully that the adjacent nodes of D are already visited. Node B is already visited and node F is also visited. So all the adjacent nodes of D are visited. So we can backtrack. So we pop the previous unvisited node and we see that this node is D. And D is already visited from F, so we can discard D. We will print only if the node is unvisited. So next we take D from the stack and we see that D is already visited, so we will not print it here. Next we take node E from stack. We print E and mark it as visited and we look for the adjacent node H. So we push H in the stack and next we take H from the stack, print H and mark it as visited. Next we look for adjacent nodes of H and we see that there is no adjacent edge of H. So we look for other unvisited nodes in the stack and the stack is also empty, so our process is terminated. And we see that now all the nodes are visited. So all the nodes are visited. Let us look at the pseudocode of the iterative implementation of DFS algorithm. Initially we perform 2 tasks. We mark all the vertices as unvisited and we push the start node in the stack. After that we repeatedly perform 3 tasks. Every time we take a node from the stack, if the node is unvisited, then we print it and mark it as visited. Mark the node as visited and we print it. And after that, we look for the unvisited adjacent nodes. If the adjacent nodes are unvisited, then we push those nodes in the stack. And these steps are repeated until the stack is empty.